Let me get started then. If everybody can give me your attention, please. First, I want to thank everybody for coming. Good evening, and welcome to Gail Parker's retirement celebration. This is probably the hardest thing to do because it doesn't happen very often. And to have an event like this, you can write all you want, but it kind of comes from the heart when you look at somebody who's been so involved with the county, in this part of the county, the chamber, that has done such a great job over the years and has a magnetic smile and energy that never ends. You know, you can put the writing aside and you just say what comes to your mind. But we are all here tonight for one reason, and that is for Gail. And that is to celebrate her, what she's done, her accomplishments, and her retirement from the chamber. But I want to, before we do anything else, I want to ask Gail and Randy to stand up, and I'd like to just have a little toast for them. Let's start with that. Gail, a wonderful 7 years? It feels like longer than that, but you're not going anywhere. We just want to say thank you for everything that you've done before we even start, and we'll do it again before we finish. But I say this on behalf of everybody. We love you very much, and we're going to miss you as the president, but you're not going that far. Cheers. Well, the good news is Gail is not going anywhere. And she has already signed up to be a member of the chamber. And I will tell you that Randy, her lovely husband, will not have it any other way. He is very used to all the receptions, happy hours, and happy hours. And we're going to keep it that way. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start off introducing somebody who doesn't need an introduction, but Cliff Terrell, a Wharton County College consultant, junior college consultant, who often represents WCJC President Betty McCrahan at our chamber board meetings. Cliff has been with the chamber for many years, even serving as president twice, once in the late 60s, and again from 86 to 97. I mean, when I asked Roberta that, she said she didn't meet him until the 90s, so I don't know what the deal is with that. But Cliff, I think that's a typo. There's no way that you could have been doing that for that long. Would you please come up here and say a few words?
I'm sorry, but Frank Shumker usually helps me up. Frank, where are you when I need you? This is a real opportunity for me to be here after almost 40 years in the chamber management business. This is my chance. I'm going to get to tell you what I really think about the Chamber of Commerce. Now, it's a real pleasure for me to be here to honor Gail Parker. She has done an outstanding job for this organization, and I think the reason she has is because she's a true professional. That's been one of my pet peeves about chamber management and chamber managers I've known for 40 years, from coast to coast and from border to border. Some of them have not been professionals in pretty high places, but Gail has been professional in her 8 years here at the chamber, and for that I'm thankful, Gail. Appreciate that very much. There's probably about 7 or 8 characteristics that you can judge a professional by, and she meets the categories, carries them out explicitly. I'm particularly pleased that she has done what she's done with the governmental affairs effort. Frank Shumker is chairman of that group, and it's been a real pleasure for me to serve on that committee. I think the governmental affairs activities of the Chamber of Commerce is critical to its success, and Gail has certainly been at the forefront of that effort. And for that, I think she deserves another round of applause. So, the main thing I want to get across in all my years in the chamber management business, the key to success for a chamber executive is to keep the damn thing in the black. And Gail has done that in spades, and she leaves this chamber in better financial condition than it's ever been in. So Gail, we'll miss you, but we wish you the best and hope that you will not forget us, and remember that we really enjoyed the 8 years that you spent here at the chamber, and welcome you to the retired chamber group.
Thank you, Cliff. No doubt, when you think about chambers, not only in Texas, but nationally, we've been told many times that our chamber has something that a lot of chambers don't have, and that is, we actually have money in the bank. And that is really incredible. So, fantastic, good point. Somebody mentioned to me just a minute ago that I didn't introduce myself, so let me, stop for a minute. My name is Kamal Aris, and I am the chairman of the board this year, so thanks for reminding me. Now I would like to introduce Barry Beard, and most of you know who this man is, and his lovely wife Kay, who I simply adore. She's here somewhere. Barry's with Post Oak Bank and member Chamber Board of Directors. If you would come up here, Barry. Barry has the distinction of being the only person who was on the Chamber's board when Gail was hired in late 2003. He's going to correct me, but I'm going to go ahead and say that anyway.
That is true. I wasn't here when Gail came, but I was here shortly thereafter, and I was able to be a witness of the devastation and the chaos and the activity that had occurred prior to her coming. And, you know, much has been made so far about being in the black. Well, the fact of the matter was, we were broke, and there was chaos reigning, the staff was untrained, the morale was low. Board, you had to beg somebody to come on the board, and then they would say, well, let me think about it. But only the inimitable Gail Parker could get the right people on the board to get this thing moving forward, and then lead that board and do what needed at the time. Now, I will say that with all that going on, Gail took the job anyway. And I want to emphasize, Gail took the job. She got her hands around that job with very little chamber experience that I know of. Not as much familiarity with the people on this side of the river, and you may know that it's a difficult task to break into this side of the river. But Gail took the job and made it a terrific job. Did a great job with leading us through those first days. I remember when we had our first really successful gala. It was the most fun I've had, and I don't know when. Tom DeLay, one of our local journalists, had donated a Texas Hold'em party for 12 at her house, and Tom DeLay tried to buy it for $1. Well, fortunately, there were people that bid that up, and it got up higher, and then the sheriff was going to bid with Tom. And what they were going to do, it turns out, the party goers were going to have to be transported with a county prison bus. Didn't happen, but it was fun while it was going on. That's where we were when Gail took over. How we transitioned, and I can only say this anecdotally. I remember driving to San Antonio one time, and I left, and I drove by the chamber office at it was a little before 4 in the morning, and that blue Jag was backed up into a parking space, and there was a little light in the back wall. Gail was working. I drove back from San Antonio that day. I passed the chamber office about 9 at night. The Jaguar was backed up into the parking space, and a light was on in the back. I just sat there, and I don't know how long she was there before I went by there, nor do I know how long she was there after I went by there. But that's the kind of work and dedication, and I know there were many more